denied the allegations. Well, joining me now is Congressman Tim Kennedy, a Democrat from New York. Appreciate your time today, Congressman.
Thank you, Linda.
I want to obviously get to Iran, but I want to start first with that breaking news we've just got on one of your colleagues, a California Democrat, now stepping aside, and this as a investigation by the House Ethics Committee has already begun. What's your reaction?
Well, there is no place for that kind of misconduct anywhere, especially in Congress, and him stepping down is the right thing to do. He should resign. And I'll tell you who else should resign is Tony Gonzalez, who also has had similar misconduct in the very recent past. There is no place for that anywhere. And when in fact it happens, these people should be removed immediately from office. So Eric Swalwell resigning was just a start. Now Tony Gonzalez needs to resign or be removed this week.
All right. Well, I want to turn to Iran because the U.S. is now increasing military pressure right now in the Strait of Hormuz with that blockade that's now been in effect for over 8 hours. What are your concerns with regards to a broader escalation while also driving the spike in oil prices?
Well, the people are feeling the pinch at the pump all across the United States and all across the global community because President Trump is waging a war of choice without congressional approval, without the American people's support, and one that is doing more harm than good. America and our people are not safer. We are not more economically sound. And certainly it's created havoc and chaos in the region and across the global community as well. There is no exit strategy. This president is totally out of control, and he has lost all credibility from not only the inception of this war of choice, but even before that. And so what we need to do is we need to end this immediately. We need to create a peace and a long-lasting peace through diplomatic means. We need to bring in our NATO allies that have been so supportive of our work across the globe in promoting peace and security for generations that this president has turned upside down on its head, enabled by congressional Republicans that have rolled over and played dead and have allowed him to run roughshod over the Constitution and the people across the globe.
So far, this war has cost the lives of 13 U.S. service members. It's cost tens of billions of dollars, according to analysts we've spoken to. And hundreds of U.S. servicemen men and women have also been injured as a result of this war. Polls show the majority of Americans disapprove of this U.S. military action against Iran. How much should public opinion influence decisions about ongoing military operations?
Well, look, the bottom line is the president of the United States had no business to start this war in the first place without congressional approval, the will of the people. And so he started off by creating an illegal war of choice. Let's start there. Without congressional approval, this war should have never happened. But what it has created is a war that has cost tens of billions of dollars, quite frankly, hundreds of billions of dollars at this point, $1 to $2 billion a day that we should be investing into our economy, that we should be investing into education and into healthcare. This president's priorities are totally skewed. He, again, lacks any credibility whatsoever. And he's waging a war that the American people didn't ask for, that they don't want, and it's hurting them in the pocketbook. This is hurting our economy. It's driving up the cost of everything, especially what we're seeing at the pump. Now, it's over $4 a gallon on average just for unleaded and over $5 a gallon for diesel fuel. That drives up the cost of everything across our entire economy and the global community. And the problem is here, there's no exit strategy, there's no end in sight, And I hate to think that it's going to just be the beginning of a disaster for the economy and the global community because of this president's failures. Now he sends in J.D. Vance for 21 hours for a negotiation. He fails to come up with an agreement. He puts his tail between his legs and he comes home while the president of the United States and his secretary of state are at a UFC match. It's outrageous and it's unacceptable. And we're better than this as Americans. This war needs to end. We need to create a peace, a long-lasting peace in the region and the global community by diplomatic means. And we need to put the focus back on the American people and back on restoring the trust in the global community.
Congressman, you've criticized the administration for lacking a clear plan. In your view, what would be an objective, clear exit strategy right now?
Well, we need to use the power of diplomacy. We need to first and foremost pass a war powers resolution that holds this administration accountable, puts the power of the vote back into the hands of the people of the United States of America that the president has ignored through Congress. Congressman Greg Meeks, the ranking member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, has a war powers resolution. Speaker Johnson should bring it to the floor this week for a vote. We need to demand that this president is held accountable. And we need to create an environment where we pull our allies back in, restore trust with our NATO allies that have created an environment over the course of the last 80 years or so in the region where we are holding the various regional countries and players accountable. Dropping bombs and continuing to drop bombs is not going to resolve this. We need to use diplomatic means to create a long-lasting peace in the region, and we need to pull in our natural allies to make sure that we have accountability and that long-lasting peace.
Congressman Timothy Kennedy, I appreciate your time today. Thanks so much.
My pleasure. Great to be with you.